The king of Syria decided that he was going to ambush the Israelites. He had his recon team scout areas where Israelites routinely traveled. Then he got his staff together, and he made his plans. "Boys, let me tell you what we're going to do." The king pointed to a map. "Our intelligence informs me that the Israelites travel regularly through this crossroads right here. We've charted the precise times that they pass through that area. We're going to set up camp at that spot and attack them when they least expect it." The king's staff grinned and nodded their heads. "Yeah. Of course, I don't have to tell you that the success of this operation demands total surprise. So, these details must remain completely confidential." Down in Israel, the prophet Elisha received a word from the Lord, and he sent his servant to Joram, king of Israel. "Give this address to the king and tell him that the Syrians have set up an ambush there. He must stop all travel on that highway." The servant delivered the message to the king of Israel, and the king rerouted Israel's traffic. Syria's army prepared their ambush, and they waited for the unsuspecting Israelites to pass through. And they waited. And they waited. "I thought the king said Israel's caravans would pass through here the same time every day like clockwork. It's been hours and no sign of them. We should go back and report this to the king." I don't know. Let's give it a while longer." Finally, the Syrian soldiers gave up on the plan, and they went back and told their king that Israel never showed. "What? That can't be. Let's try again at a different spot." The king gave his men another address that his spies had scouted. "This spot is sure to work. And remember, boys, top secret." As the Syrian soldiers made their way to their new location, the prophet Elisha received a word from the Lord, and he sent his servant with another message for the king of Israel. The king stopped all travel past this new address, and once again the Syrian ambush team returned home in failure. The king tried a few more times in different well-scouted locations, and each time there was no Israelite traffic at all. So the king of Syria held a meeting with his trusted staff. "Men, every one of you has a proven record of loyalty, but I have no choice but to believe that somebody in this room is a rat. Which one of you is selling our secrets to the enemy?" After a long silence, one of the king's servants spoke up. "Sir, there's a prophet in Israel named Elisha, and somehow this prophet knows everything you say in private, and he tips off the king of Israel." The king was furious. "Oh yeah? Well, you go and get this prophet Elisha, and you bring him to me." The king of Syria sent a massive number of troops with horses and chariots in the middle of the night to the city of Dothan, where Elisha lived. And before dawn, they had the city completely surrounded. As the sun rose on Israel, Elisha was sitting in his favorite chair, drinking his morning coffee. Elisha's servant went outside to fetch some water. But as soon as he walked out the door, he ran back in and slammed the door behind him. "Elisha, there's a whole army out there. They've got us surrounded. What are we going to do?" Elisha calmly took another drink of his coffee. "It's okay. We've got them surrounded." "We what?" "Look again. There's more of us than there are of them." As the servant turned to look out the window, Elisha prayed, "Lord, open his eyes." As the servant peered through the window, he was amazed to see the hosts of heaven covering the mountains with chariots of fire all around the Syrian army. As the Syrians approached his house, Elisha prayed, "Lord, strike the entire army with blindness." Then Elisha opened the door and said, "Morning, fellas. Can I help you?" The newly blinded Syrian officer, totally confused, said, "We're looking for a man named Elisha." Elisha said, "Oh, you're in the wrong place. Come on, let me take you to where you need to go." Still completely dazed, the officer had no choice but to accept Elisha's help. "Yeah, well, okay." The entire army, unable to see a thing, trudged one after the other behind Elisha as he led them 12 miles to Samaria, the capital of Israel. It must have been quite a spectacle to watch a long line of blind, armed men humbly following an unarmed preacher down that hot, dusty trail. As they came into the walled city of Samaria, the people couldn't believe what they were seeing. King Joram came out with the Israelite soldiers and surrounded the Syrians. Then Elisha prayed, "Lord, opened their eyes. The vision of the Syrians was instantly restored. And the first thing they saw was that they were at the mercy of the Israelites. Joram got all excited. "Should we execute them?" Elisha said, "Execute them? You've defeated them. They're your prisoners of war. Treat them with decency and kindness. Serve them all a meal, and then send them back home to their king." Joram did as Elisha instructed him. He gave every one of the soldiers some bread and some nice cool water, and then he sent them back to Syria. After that, there were no more Syrian ambush missions. Christian, nothing is impossible for God. He can make seeing eyes blind and blind eyes see. Stay the course.